Hello everyone and welcome to our YouTube channel. We have an exciting technical presentation lined up for you. That is audit report generation using SpringBoot and AJAX and Thymeleaf, right? So audit is very useful for financial transactions and financial institutions like bank audit. It's very useful to track the record and the transactions, what is going on and out. I'm thrilled to share with you a significant project I have been working on, the audit report generation using Spring Boot, Ajax and Thymeleaf and an in-memory H2 database. The report is specifically tailored to benefit the financial institution like bank. First thing is that adding data using front end or back end to populate test data. So here I have populate test data using the S2 database. I have updated from the back end. So here I have created table change requests, and here I have inserted data using the insert query, and I have populated data here. So the question is the why S2 database. One of the highlights of the project is the use of an in-memory S2 database. This decision was made to ensure data integrity and security while also providing the flexibility for easy testing and development, right? So from web browsers to H2 consoles and the H2 database, right? H2 console server. So what's the H2 console server? So if you are, when you are running the applications and the say is the by default port is the 8080 and the H2 console, then it is the showing the H2 console, right? So here I have that H2 console here. So if I just the application is running and I put the test connection and the connect here. So here you see that I have created different table. H2 database is the JPA Java persistent repository, and here I have used the change request table, and if you are run select and there is the no record, right? So in my applications I have the data SQL. So let me populate the data, right? Here I run selected and it's populated, okay? And here I select query, and here you can see that list of record here, right? So this way I have populated the data, right? Test data. So why S2 database? One of the three highlight of this project is the use of an in-memory S2 database. So you know that in-memory S2 database, you don't have to install software and to manage it or have to license it. So you can store it, right? For development purpose, it's very useful and to showcase it. Now show the data using the Thymeleaf and the Spring Boot. So this part, this change request audit log report. So where I have invoked the Spring Boot controller, and from there H2 database and the repository and phase data, and using JPA I can showcase the data, and this part is using Ajax, right? So the question is the why Spring Boot and Thymeleaf, right? The project's main objective was to create a seamless and efficient audit report generation system that aids financial institution in keeping track of their financial data and transactions. We have ensured a robust and reliable backend at facilitating quick data processing and retrieval. Let us show the same. So here initially there is no record, right? So since I have record in the database, it is showing here. So first I have shown the records using the JPA repository and H2 database, and I invoke the data, and in the table also it's getting populated here. So using Thymeleaf I have presented here, and this one using Ajax I got the entire JSON, and from entire JSON you can parse it and you can process the record similarly, right? So for display purpose you can use the Thymeleaf, and also Ajax. You can use Ajax. It will invoke from the UI itself to get the data, right? So let me showcase the how it is working, right? So first is the audit log report, right? So here first you see that change requests then it is coming to the audit log report, right? So change request audit log report. So here you can see that I have returned audit log report, right? So I have returned string, correct? So that means I have already informed in the application.properties that is the suffix as a HTML, correct? So here audit log report.html, it will go to the audit log report.html. So let us go to the audit log report.html. So here is the audit log report.html. So here I have written the UI code. So this part is for Thymeleaf. Using Thymeleaf, I have retrieved the record, right? How I have retrieved the record from the database? I have just shown the record using Thymeleaf, right? So in the controller, I retrieved the record from S2 database, and it's stored in the model as a change request. And in the audit log report, in the change requests, here I have uh, entered I for loop. I when I iterate everything, I got that, right? Everything table itself, we are showing ID, CR number, date created by, and account group, right? So from S2 console itself, you can see that ID, account group, CR number created by. So everything you can see here. And next part is the data from the SpringBoot backend using AJAX. So here I have written that. So first in the div part. So here the data entered data will be displayed. Okay, so first I in the fetch data, so here windows.onload in the function data. So first this function will be invoked, and change request all report, so it will invoke this change request all report, it will be invoked here. Okay, and using ajax call, it will store the record. Okay, so onload, and when we are invoking the display data with that response, it will show in the inner HTML. So here it will be showing here in this part. So it's the entire data I have shown, that entire JSON data it has been represented. So what I can do, this JSON data I can parse it, and accordingly we can showcase it. So instead of entire JSON, we can showcase what as per our project requirement, right? So two way I have shown, one for using the AJAX call and another using just a Thymeleaf. Okay, so this way we can present it. And another thing is that since it's the Spring MVC, right, we are using Thymeleaf, that is the JSP or HTML representation. So we can't use the REST controller, right? It's not like Swagger and we are invoking. So we have used the @controller. So this thing, remember, we can't use the REST controller. We have to use the @controller. And this all report, since REST controller is a combination of @controller and the response body. So here I have to use the @controller, since it's the Spring Boot when it is represented as a Spring MVC. Okay, so here I have to use the response body. Okay, so two function, right? So one for that AJAX call, another for the simple Thymeleaf. Both are using the same H2 database, same function service call, and get the data, and we are showcase it. Okay, so here it said, and when we are using AJAX call, we are just whatever we are getting, we just send it as a JSON. Okay, so this way we are showcasing our record. So here same thing I have discussed here, and also mentioned that use @controller, not @REST controller, to support JSP or HTML. Okay, and change request is the table, right? Entity table. Okay, and from the service call, it will go to the service, and it will finally it will go to the JPA, right? JPA, here I have JPA repository. I have used the change request, this change request, okay, and the long is the ID, okay, and table mapping I have already mentioned here. So I have used create table change request. So accordingly, so here is the schema.sql. I have mentioned that what is the structure of the table, and here that accordingly in the model object I have used at the entity, at the table, at the ID generation, at that column. So this way we have presented our record. And now the next part is the show data using AJAX, which I have already covered. So here is that URL endpoint, and this URL endpoint change request all report, and it will entirely JSON it is giving as a response. Now the question is the why Thymeleaf and AJAX. The integration of AJAX and Thymeleaf has enabled us to build a dynamic and user-friendly front-end interface. This feature-rich web application allows user to interact with the system seamlessly and obtain real-time insights into their financial data, right? So this way you can present the audit report easily, you can display the record easily to the customer. Okay, thank you all for watching. We hope you found technical presentation insightful and informative. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Until next time, happy coding. Thank you.